My name is Christian Joy, and that's actually my real name. And I'm a costume designer. I specifically design costumes for Karen O of the IAS. The most interesting thing is just how we've grown together. When I first started out, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was just really hacking things together. And I knew right away that I wanted to keep learning, and I wanted to do it properly and really make it, a job, a profession. As each record kind of comes up, it just kind of naturally moves forward. That's sort of the most interesting thing about the whole relationship with Karen. Is just how natural it all happens to be. Like a lot of times she'll give me the record, and then I'll listen to it and I'll think, okay, how's she gonna do this? What kind of colors am I thinking about? Different things like that. Take, for instance, this record, I think this record sort of reminds me a little bit of each record, almost in a way. So I think with this one, we're kind of taking from different parts of her, almost repertoire of like looks. Another new thing that we're doing now is suits, which is kind of exciting because I never pictured myself doing suits. It was inspired by like Little Richard and like James Brown and Screaming Jay Hawkins, Grandpa Munster. My references are usually male, because I don't particularly like frilly kind of stuff or lacy or anything like that. I like more of a really strong kind of image, and I think it tends to be more male in a lot of ways. There's a certain power to it, that they don't always show women as. That's the other thing. It's a lot of women's outfits. It's really hard to move on stage, or they shoot up your skirt, or different things like that happen. To put them in that power position, you have to kind of almost make it a little more masculine. I'm making costumes for a rock show. One thing I always think about is the audience going to be able to see it. How is it going to reflect off the lights? Is it colorful enough? Specifically Karen, is it going to give her the energy that she needs? You want the audience to be excited by the piece, and you want the performer to feel excited by the piece. Especially in the first, minute of when they play, I feel like everyone's taking photos of her. So it's really that first minute that she needs to have the full costume on and look, really great. And so, I kind of try to think like, okay, now she's going to throw that off, and now this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. Especially with suits, how do you keep the costume dynamic all the way through? Here's the way I think about it. If I'm at Coachella, I want to wear something that represents the desert and the feeling California. If I'm at Bonnaroo in Tennessee, I want to wear something that's maybe a little more Western feeling, or I love that idea of like taking bits of the local culture and sort of infusing it into my outfit, and maybe even if it's like the cliche part of it, so maybe in Tennessee you want to wear a little fringe, or like, and then at Coachella you want to wear a brightly colored sort of, dress with some reflective jewelry, I mean, that's what I would wear.